Hello and Assalamu alaikum students. Okay, so I'm back with part 2 of chapter 23, that is operations planning, right? So today we'll discuss that whatever the operations decisions are, you know that they are actually related with production of goods and services, and for that they have to buy raw material as well. They have to make use of machines, manpower, right? So these are actually the decisions which are taken by operation management, right? Or operational manager rather. Okay, but here today we'll discuss about the various factors which can affect the operation decisions. So the various factors which we are going to discuss, they are marketing, availability of resources, technology, and competitors' actions. These are the four factors which can have an impact on operations decisions. Okay, so let's discuss them one by one. First is marketing. So I have already discussed that in the previous video as well. That you know that when we were discussing that there should be coordination between marketing department and operations department, right? But we can actually see the points quickly, so that at least you can have a revision of that. So marketing department, they forecast market demand. So it means that they will tell the operations department what quantity to produce or how much to produce, right? So they are obviously going to influence operations decision, right? Based on their forecast. Then match output with demand. Again, if demand is increasing or going down, so they have to change the pace of their production according to that, right? They cannot produce quickly if there is very little demand in the market, or maybe the demand is not growing. Right now, it's not increasing. Okay, so you have to. It will have an effect on the operation decision, because obviously operation decisions include what quantity to produce and what at what time to produce it. Then we have maintain inventory to a desired level. Again, we discussed that in inventory management chapter, that they have to keep a stock of raw material as well, especially in case of manufacturing business, right? So that it won't affect their production process. So again, this will also, and obviously who is going to tell them? Marketing department, because marketing department is going to tell them about the demand, and according to that demand they are going to buy raw material. Because I told you in that chapter, that is inventory management, that your inventory should not be above the desired level, or it should not be below the desired level as well. Otherwise there are lots of disadvantages which I'm not going to discuss because it's there in that chapter as well. Okay, so you need to keep the inventory to a desired level, and for that you require the help from marketing department. So they are going to have an influence on operation decision. Then next is best possible use of the staff and other resources. Again, for that best possible use, how that at what time you require staff. Like for example, you are having permanent staff and you are having part-time staff as well. So how much of the part-time staff you are require in total? Okay, and what quantity of employees you want to have as permanent employees? Again, it depends upon that whether the demand is fluctuating, or it increases at a certain time of the year, or it has a steady demand. If it the product has a steady demand throughout the year, obviously you may have permanent employees. Okay, because demand is there throughout the year. But if demand fluctuates throughout the year, like the season comes in and then there's an off-peak season as well, right? So then you may not require that amount of workers as well. But again, how you will decide how much staff you require, again, that will be told to you by the marketing department. So again, they have an influence on that operation decision, because after all, operation department is there to decide. I told you earlier what type of resource to use, how much of that resource to be used. Either capital intensive production will be there, or labor intensive is there, right? So, but that decision will be influenced by the marketing department as well. And then finally, produce the right product. Again, so what type of product to be produced, what quality to be there in that product. Okay, again, that will be told to you by the marketing department, because they know the taste of the consumer, or what actually your potential customers desire, right? Okay, then moving on to this is the influence of marketing department on operations decisions, um, um, because of these points which we just discussed. Okay, then we have availability of resource. This is another factor which can affect operation decisions. Now, first point is decision to adopt labor intensive methods depends on whether suitable labor is cheap and easily available. Yes, you can see that. Like if you operate in a developing country or in a region where there is high unemployment, so you might like to take the decision that is have your production labor intensive, because you know that labor is cheap, sorry, and it is easily available. Okay, so it means, but if you think labor is cheap, is expensive and it is not easily available, I'm talking about relevant labor which you can make use of in your production process. Okay, so it means that availability of resource is going to change the operation decision. Like either you will go for capital intensive or labor intensive production depending on the availability of resource. Second point is decision to adopt IT based production system depends on whether capital is cheap. Again, you need to see, because capital is also part of resource, right? So if you think that you'll be able to borrow money easily from the bank or from other financial institutions, okay, at a lower interest rate, okay, the availability is easy as well as it is not costly as well at the same time, then you might like to adopt IT based production system. But if the other way around is true, like it is expensive and there are not a lot of financial institutions which are willing to offer you a loan, then obviously you might not be taking that decision. So it means that again the availability of resources, they are having an impact on your operation decision. Then the third point is decision to plan to shift operations to another country depends on availability of sufficient sources of raw material. Again, it is very important. Let's say you actually deal in furniture manufacturing. So you plan to move abroad as well, but wood is not available over there, and you have to import it from your own country or from another country. So obviously, it will be too much time consuming and costly as well, because a lot of transport cost is involved there as well, right? So in that case, my this option might not be suitable. Although the production you are going to tell that which is a suitable location. This is an operational decision, right? But it is going to be influenced by uh, availability of resource, whether do you have the required amount of raw material in that case or not. So if you see these 3 points, the first point is about the amount of labor, relevant labor, whether it is available or not, or whether it is cheap or not. Then the second point is about the resource, that is capital, and the third point is about the natural resource, that is raw material, whether it is available cheaply or in abundance, it is there or not. Okay, otherwise there is no point moving to another country where there is no raw material available, because it will make that product very expensive and people might not be able to afford it over there as well. So it means, so this is how it is going to affect your operational decision. Then obviously you will not plan to move abroad if you think that the required amount of raw material is not available there. You know that many multinational countries, they plan to move to developing countries just because there is abundance of raw material there. So it will be cheaply available and they can get as much quantity as they require, right? So this is going to influence the operational decision, that is availability of resources. Okay, and next is competitors action. This is very important. You know that you cannot actually formulate your strategies in isolation. You have to consider what competitors are doing. Like I'll give you a very relevant example, and this is a very new one. You know that Kia Sportage, I gave you the example in the class as well. Now, okay, because it has become very popular, and in 1 year, actually, lots of people they bought it. So now, because of this success, now they are going to launch Kia Sorento. Okay, and this is a seven-seater car, and that is an SUV. And now they are. This is going to have a direct competition with Fortuner, Toyota Fortuner. And you know that Fortuner is also very popular, and people are buying. Anyone who is having the required amount of money to buy Fortuner is going for it. Okay, and the new model of Fortuner is very popular. Okay, all over Pakistan you can see that. But now they are going to have a competition with Kia Sorento. Okay, so it means that now they have to make changes. I mean, I'm talking about Toyota Fortuner, because now they will see that there is a direct rival there who is going to compete with them. Okay, and I'm telling you, Toyota Fortuner is available, and that is actually the price is actually more than 1 crore. You know that. Okay, but the price of Kia Sorento is actually starting price is 70 lakh, and it ranges from 70 to 85 lakh. So actually they have charged price lower than Toyota Fortuner because they are going to compete with Fortuner. So it means that now it will have an impact on the operational decision of Toyota Fortuner as well. They will have to make changes in their new model as well. Okay, those changes might be very slight, but they have to, because now they have to face that competition, otherwise their sale is going to go down. So it means that competitors action is a big factor. Okay, as far as the operational decisions are concerned, which is going to influence it. Okay, let's talk about it now. Investment in design, improvement in design, right? You want to improve your design of your product, right? Okay, and for that, as I gave you the example of Toyota Fortuner and Kia Sorento, and how do you do it? For that, there is a solution in bracket: introduction of CAD to make better designs. Now, rather than doing it on a paper, because it will actually consume your paper as well, the cost of paper, and it will take a lot of time as well. So there are software there which can actually give you variety of designs in a fraction of a minute, right? Or maybe within 5 minutes or 3 minutes, they can actually show you various designs of of the car, right? Okay. Now, so this is how you are going to compete with competitors as well. If they are actually planning to improve their design of their product, and the example I gave you, let's say if it is car, so obviously they have to make changes in their design as well. And for that, CAD is actually a very suitable option, because once you buy it or install it, it becomes very cheaper because there is no cost involved. Just a software is there who is going to make design for you for your product, right? Similarly, if your competitor is improving the quality, right? Again, I can tell you, if you see, you know that um, sunroof is there in many of the cars there, but in Kia Sorento, you can see that the roof is actually made up of glass as well. So people who are actually sitting at the rear seat as well, okay, or you can say in the second row, they can also see the sky as well outside. Okay, and that option is not available in case of Fortuner. Okay, so again, it means that there is an improvement in quality there as well, right? And people who are actually sitting at the third row of the car, they can control. There is actually a knob there from where you can actually control the air conditioner as well, because AC vent is there in the third row as well. Okay, and there is a control there in the hands of the people who are actually sitting in the third row. So it means that if there is an improvement in quality, you need to improve your quality as well. Okay. For that, what do you do? Quality control measures can be taken to improve quality. Again, quality control measures. Again, it means you need to find out the ways how you can improve your quality. And quality control is where, what do you do? You actually train every single worker. You actually hire quality inspectors for that. Okay, they check the quality as well, and they make suggestions to you how to improve your product, because they have plenty of experience of judging the quality of the product, and they can tell exactly how to improve it because they have the expertise to do it. Okay, so you can use that as well, and we have, I think, discussed it a bit, although it's an A2 topic, but you can use it. Quality control means that you hire quality inspectors and they actually check the quality of the product and they suggest you as well how to improve the quality of the product, because your competitor is actually working on improving the quality of their product. You have to address to that issue as well. Then the third is improved customer service. Okay. Again, if your customer is, sorry, your competitor is improving customer service, you have to do it at the same time as well. And for that, what do you do? Make the goods available at convenient locations by using more efficient distribution channels. And I told you earlier, customer service is different from after sales service. Customer service is not a service for which you pay, right? Okay, or which is included in the price of the product. Okay, so the example I gave you, if now you make the product available in every shop, which is from where it is convenient for your potential customers to buy, this is an improvement in your customer service. Although they have not bought it, but now it is actually a facility for them that there is a walking distance to the store from where they can buy it. Okay, or maybe it takes hardly 5 minutes using their car to reach that store or the place. Again, this is an improvement in your customer service. Okay, so again, the another way is you can have a website from where you have your representatives which are available 24 hours a day, and customers can ask for any information regarding your product. Okay, so again, this is a customer service. Okay, because they are not paying for it. Okay, so it will help you to sell your product well as well, and to have customer loyalty as well, because you are now um, answering every single query of the people who can become your customers, who might not be your customers, who might not have paid to buy your product, but they can buy your product if you have better customer service. So this is possible. I'm the sentences which are there in brackets, these are the solutions. Okay, or you can say, because obviously when competitors will take actions, so you will have a problem, you got a problem, and you have to solve that problem, and for that you have to suggest solutions. Okay, or find out solutions, and they are there in the brackets. Then uh, cost reduction measures to reduce. Okay, and distribution channel, I actually explained you that in that marketing topic as well, that you actually plan it in such a way that people find it conveniently. So people will always like to buy a product which is of better quality, but it is easily available, because if people take a lot of time to find it, doesn't matter whatever the quality, the time will come when they will stop buying it, because they feel that it will take a lot of time, and today everybody is busy, you know that. Okay, and they do not have much time to actually find out that product. If they find similar type of product conveniently, they will go for it, simple as that. Okay, now moving on to point number 4, cost reduction measures to reduce price. If competitors take that action and they reduce their cost, and because of that they are able to reduce their price as well, you have to address to that issue as well. Now what, how do you do it? More focus on improving efficiency, such as using CAM. Now you need to understand, CAM is computer aided manufacturing, and it is different from CAD. Okay, in point number 1 you see CAD, that is computer aided design. Here only designs are made with the help of computer software, that is it, no manufacturing is done. All right, with the help of computers. But computer aided manufacturing is where manufacturing is done by robots, and robots are controlled by computers. Okay, so it is highly capital intensive, I must say, right? So now manufacturing is also done by machines, and those machines are called robots. Okay, they are controlled by computers. So when you do it, although you know that setup cost is high, but when your production is highly capital intensive, obviously you achieve efficiency. What is efficiency? Efficiency means higher productivity. You are able to produce more in less time. You require less labor as well. So it will reduce your cost. Remember, efficiency always leads to lower cost, because it also means higher productivity. So this is how you will be able to reduce your cost as well, and you will be able to compete with your competitor on price basis as well. Otherwise, when competitor will be charging lower price and your product is similar to their product, but your price is on the higher side, obviously consumers are likely to buy from them. As I gave you the example of Kia Sorento and Toyota Fortuner. So now the Kia Sorento, obviously their price range is lower than Toyota Fortuner. I know that there are some drawbacks there as well in Kia Sorento. I'm not going to discuss that, but their price range is also lower, so people might like to buy that as well. You can also see that Kia Sportage, they actually put a dent on the sales of Honda Civic as well, because the price range was quite same. Okay, because Honda Civic was available in the price range of 45 lakh to 48 lakh, right? And uh, Kia Sportage was having the same price range, 50, 51 lakh, 55 lakh. So people plan to buy Kia Sportage. So obviously it had an effect on the sales of Honda Civic as well. So now again, a Kia Sorento, if it becomes a success, it will obviously have an effect on the sales of Toyota Fortuner as well, if Toyota Fortuner does not make changes in their model of the car as well. So now, okay, so you understand that the price does matter as well. If there are products which are quite similar to one another and people feel that there is not much difference in it, so obviously they will choose a lower price item in that case. So for that, if if competitors do it, you have to do it as well, and you have to achieve efficiency through CAM, right? Now, second last point is attractive offers. If your competitors are giving attractive offers, like maybe they say that if you buy now, you will be offered a 10% discount or 20% discount, right? Or if I, because I'm talking about cars, so let's say if you buy in this month our car, so maybe 6 months car service will be free. Now these sort of offers, they are actually offered by many of the car companies. So what do? More use of sales promotion methods. So you also come up with promotion methods. Okay, buy one get one free. Obviously, for a car, this is not very relevant, but for other products, it is. Buy one get one free, 50% off, or you can enter into a competition if you buy our product, or maybe when you buy our product, you are given a money off coupon that next time when you'll buy it, so maybe you have to pay 10% less or 20% less. Okay, so this is how you can come up with different sales promotion methods as well, and we discussed that in marketing topic as well. Okay, and then innovative product. If your competitor is coming up with innovation, okay, they are coming up with unique products which are not there in the market, you have to do it as well. And how do you do it? How will you come up with innovative products to compete with your competitor? You invest more in research and development, because research and development is actually not about getting information from the market about the customers or their taste. Yes, you do get it, but it's about how can you actually produce a, a good product, okay, or a new product, okay? How can you actually produce a product which can give you a USP, which can give you a competitive advantage over your rival businesses, okay? So this is done by doing a market research, okay? And this is how you can actually compete with your competitor if they are actually planning to come up with an innovative product, okay? So I have mentioned the actions taken by competitors and the response which should be there for the business there, and so that they can be successful or remain successful in the market there as well. All right, okay. And last is the last factor, because you can see that the topic is the influence of marketing, availability of resources, technology, and competitors' action on operations decisions. Okay, so we have discussed marketing, availability of resources, competitors' action. Now we are going to talk about the last factor that is in your syllabus, that is technology. Technology includes CAD, we discussed that, computer aided design, then CAM, computer aided manufacturing, we have discussed that as well, and CIM, integration of CAM and CAD. Okay, so what do you do here? You make design with the help of computer software, okay, and you manufacture with the help of robots controlled by computers. So it means it is actually a mixture of CAD and CAM. That is why I mentioned it is an integration of CAM and CAD. So these are the technologies which you can use, because if technology is coming in and you do not use it, there is a problem. Okay, because many businesses who actually rejected the new technology which actually was coming in the industry, they are now nowhere. Okay, I actually, so technology can be related to the production, technology can be related with the use of the product. I gave you the example, I think in one of the class, that Kodak was one of the company which was very famous at one point of time. Okay, as far as cameras are concerned. Okay, but at the time they were actually making Polaroid cameras where actually films are used, and at the time people used to take pictures, but they and they used to visit different shops where they actually used to um, um, give that reel, that film to the shopkeeper, and then later on it was developed by the shopkeeper, and then you actually got the pictures after a day or two. Okay, so it actually took time at that time. Okay, but then digital cameras were introduced, but Kodak was very late to adopt that technology. Okay, so other companies, they actually adopted that way earlier than Kodak, like Canon. I gave you the example. Now Canon is very famous. Think about the DSLR cameras of Canon. They are very expensive and it has a very good brand name. Okay, now they are far ahead than Kodak. Kodak is still there, but now it's not that much famous because of the same reason, because they did not adopt the technology at the right time. So that is why this is a very important factor for operation management, because they have to address to that. If a new technology is coming in, they have to adopt. If they won't, there will be a problem. Okay, and like I gave you the example. Okay, so now we are actually now coming to the end of the factors which can affect operation decision. Next is, okay, advantages and disadvantages of using CAD and CAM. I'll discuss that in the next class, because I think it is better to make short videos so that you can watch it easily. Okay, thank you very much.